All right, today we are cracking open one of the biggest mysteries in tech, AI content filtering. We're going to take a look at a system that makes AI decisions totally transparent, which, let's be honest, is a massive change from the digital black boxes we're all used to.
You know the feeling, right? You post something, maybe share an article, and then, poof, it's just gone, flagged by some algorithm, and you have absolutely no idea why. It's a super common frustration, and today we're diving into a system that's built to end that mystery once and for all.
And that brings us right to the heart of it, what the industry calls the black box problem. It's that feeling of shouting into the void, you know? An AI makes a decision that affects you, but you can't see how, you can't understand why, and you definitely can't argue with it.
Yeah, with most systems, the AI does something, your stuff vanishes, and you're just left scratching your head. This isn't just a little annoying, it really chips away at our trust. It makes you feel completely powerless against this invisible system that has all the authority and none of the accountability.
And this is the voice that starts up in your head, right? You start questioning everything. What exactly did it hide? Why? Can I even trust this thing? What if it just made a mistake? Am I missing out on something important because of this secret decision? This exact confusion is the problem that Explainable AI is trying to solve.
So, how do you fix a black box? Well, you replace it with a glass one. The solution here isn't some kind of magic, it's actually just a really clear, predictable formula designed for total transparency. At the very heart of this system is this one core function. Think of it as the DNA for every single decision it makes. It's not just a simple on or off switch, nope. It's an equation with 4 key levers that control how content gets changed, what the system looks for, how much gets filtered, and how it's all identified.
And here are those 4 levers in action. You've got mode, which is how the text actually gets transformed. Criteria is what the system is told to look for. Randomness is basically a dial for how much gets affected, and hashing, this one's key. It creates a unique digital fingerprint for every single piece of text. That makes every decision consistent and completely traceable. With these 4 settings, poof, the mystery is gone.
Okay, so now let's pop the hood and look inside that glass engine. We're going to check out the different tools, the transformation modes that this system uses, and you'll see how each one adds to the transparency in its own cool way.
So, the first mode is a really smart kind of masking. It swaps out letters and numbers for X's, but, and this is the brilliant part, it keeps the original structure. Punctuation, spaces, capital letters, word length, it's all still there. So you get the context without seeing the sensitive content. It's actually perfect for things like user research or privacy-first demos.
Now, this mode does the exact opposite of hiding. Instead of covering up the text, it shows you the system's unique digital fingerprint, the hash. You can think of this long string of characters as a permanent, one-of-a-kind ID for that specific piece of text. By showing you the hash, the system is proving that it's tracking everything consistently, which is absolutely vital for building trust and for debugging.
Okay, this next mode is all about analyzing structure. It's pretty simple. It just replaces text with repeating letters based on how long it is. Hi becomes AA. Hello becomes BBBBB. What this does is prove the system can sort and classify content using really simple and, more importantly, cheap rules. That's a huge first step before you bring in the complex, expensive AI. And speaking of AI, that leads us right to the next phase, building the brains of the whole operation. But what's so smart here is the strategy. They're not just grabbing some big AI model off the shelf and hoping for the best. No way. They built the car's chassis first, proved it works, and now they're ready to drop in that powerful engine.
The AI they're building is going to be trained to look for these 4 specific things. Is the language creating a sense of false urgency like "acts now"? Is it super one-sided or biased? Is the framing just overwhelmingly negative, or maybe even toxically positive? These are the kinds of nuanced things that go way beyond a basic good or bad label.
And this is all part of a super methodical, step-by-step rollout. First, build the rock-solid infrastructure. Done. Then deploy the simple, rule-based stuff to prove the whole concept works. They're here now. And only now, in Phase 3, are they finally adding the expensive AI into the mix. This strategy just massively reduces the risk and, as we'll see, is designed to save an incredible amount of money.
So, what's the actual payoff for all this careful planning? Why does explainability really matter? Let's break down how this is a huge win for both the people using the system and the business running it.
Okay, look at this. A black box system gives you a vague, content-filtered message.
This system can tell you, hey, the urgency score was 0.92, which went over the threshold of 0.85. See the difference? A black box might give you one on-off switch. This system gives you fine-grained controls. I mean, the difference in trust and transparency here is just night and day.
And because the system is so transparent, the creators get amazing data back. Check this out. This chart is from real user behavior, and it shows that a whopping 73% of people prefer the content masking mode. That's not a guess. That's a hard fact they can use to make the product better. You just can't get these kinds of insights from a black box.
And let's talk about the money. That step-by-step approach has a massive financial benefit. Because of their smart architecture, using those stable hashes for caching, the system is on track to save a potential $270,000 a month in AI costs. This just proves that building smart architecture isn't just good engineering, it's seriously good business.
So at the end of the day, explainability isn't just one little feature. It's the foundation that unlocks everything else. It builds trust because users can actually understand and control what's happening. It makes it easy to comply with regulations, it allows for super fast improvements based on real data, and it paves the way for true personalization, letting every user shape their own online experience. Seeing what's actually possible when we demand transparency really leaves us with a pretty big question. In a world that's increasingly run by algorithms, should all AI be required to explain itself? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.